Morning, everybody. Saturday Conscious Coffee. I have skipped the last couple days of Conscious Coffee. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. I did my best. I was going to make it around to do a Thanksgiving Conscious Coffee. I just never did. I had like 27 people in my house, I think was like one count at one time in the day that came through, which is a nice number of people. So 27 people at one point, and yeah, it was just crazy. So never made it to Thanksgiving Conscious Coffee. Happy that I got my article out though. And then yesterday, I just decided to take yesterday off. That's what I did. I woke up and not feeling great, not sleeping great, all the hustle and bustle of the holidays. And I know that so many people went out to Black Friday craziness, because that's what it is. It's sheer craziness. I was just sitting online ordering stuff, and I'm like, why would I go stand in line for all this time and fight people over stuff that's just going to get thrown away in the next 3 years that nobody actually needs, when I can just order from the comfort of my couch in front of my fire this morning. And that's what I did. I did Christmas shopping this morning and never left my couch. I love Christmas shopping of modern time. It is amazing. I do school shopping that way too. So I just like, you can just come to my door. You can just come to my door. I do not want to go out into the crazy. I'm not that much of a shopper. So, but that's not what men are stupid about when it comes to women. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. Hey, morning, Addison. Morning, Brad. I want to excuse me. I'm still hacking up my lungs. Nasty cold, which is part of why I took yesterday off. Just trying to give myself some downtime. Although I went and played laser tag and bowling. I don't know why. It's not necessarily downtime. It was fun though. It was fun. This morning I was thinking about some stuff, and I was thinking about men, and I was thinking about women. Go figure. Being a relationship coach and all. Why not think about those things, right? And I was thinking about intimate relationships, and I was thinking about dating and flirting and courting and all this different stuff. And I was just realizing, I mentioned to my guy, I was like, it never fails. I cannot believe how stupid some men are. And I say this in utter love to the male population, okay? In utter love to you men, because you guys need to pull your heads out of your ends on this one particular thing big time, because you're never going to even get the door open if you are doing this particular thing. And here's the thing, the whole statement of that you guys have these male pacts and contracts where you got the whole bros before hoes thing. You got, like guys are going to support men, got each other's backs and everything. If you don't think that us women do the same thing, you're mistaken. And I really think that us ladies are probably better at it than guys are. Through the course of time, and I even remember back in high school and in junior high, boys coming up and flirting and saying things and, telling their stories and trying to get the girl. And when he gets shot down by one girl, he turns around and he goes to her friend or an acquaintance, somebody that's in the group, right? And he tries the same story or concocts a new tale and makes up stuff and goes, oh no, I was never really interested in her. No, you got that all wrong. And he tells this lie to the new girl, and he actually believes that the new girl doesn't know what happened between him and whoever the other chick was. If two girls, 2 young women, 2 middle-aged women, 2 older women know each other, hang out with each other, communicate in any fashion or form, even if we don't really like each other, we are still going to get each other's backs on letting them know, on letting our fellow female know what has occurred. But when you get into close female relationships, friendships, sisterhoods, mothers and daughters, best friends, all this kind of stuff, when you get into that kind of relationship, and when you know that 2 women know each other really, really well, oh, Lord help you if you do this to those two women and you go after one, and then the next time, like 2 days later, a week later, a month later, you come after the other one and you concoct a story. Because here's what women do. We share all of our shit when we are close like that. We communicate, and we share it. So my recommendation to you guys out there is stop acting like 4th graders and 5th graders thinking that girls don't communicate, because we started back then, okay? And realize that if you're into somebody, or if you're wanting something from a woman, and if she denies you whatever that is, and then you turn around and you go to her friend, her sister, her daughter, and you then concoct a story around that the person that you're already talking to already knows what happened. They already know what happened. They're sitting there waiting for you. Okay? They're sitting there waiting, and they're like, yeah. No. And that means that you're going to get the door slammed at you twice. Okay? Just for being a fool on it. I bring this up, and I'm gonna throw somebody under the bus here, but not somebody that might be thought of to be thrown under the bus. But last year, I, as everybody knows, I broke up with my long-term relationship of 7 years with the dad to my 2 youngest kids. And he had an acquaintance friend, somebody that we hung out with every now and then. Not really close friends by any means, but we hung out with this person. And my oldest daughter, she's a bartender. And this guy was one of her regulars at her bar. And he found out that while my daughter was still in Hawaii back then, her and her man were living in Hawaii still, he heard that my partner and I had split up, that we had broke up. So he calls my daughter in Hawaii and he says, hey, I just found out about, your stepdad and your mom. I hope everybody's okay. Hope everything's good, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I'm just calling. If you need anything from me, if your mom needs anything from me, let me know. Really, really sweet gesture, right? So he says, hey, morning, April. Morning, Ava, Lance, Nelia. So he says, just let me know if you need anything. He gets the lowdown from my daughter, okay? He gets the lowdown from her, and then he texts me. And he texts me, hey, would you like to come over sometime? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? Basically, he is trying to, he texted me very sexual texts. He texted me these messages, of trying to lure me to his house at the wee hours of the night to spend the night and to do things. And I was like, aren't you with somebody? And I'm not interested in you like that. And where are you getting this idea? And blah, blah, blah. I'm dating somebody. Da, 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 da. All this different stuff. And he just says to me, he's like, oh no, my girlfriend's too vanilla. You're so much more playful. Your guy told me all about you. Da, 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 da. Don't you want to come over and play with my fetish? And he has this fetish that came out, which I'm not going to blow on live stream, although it's a pretty funny one. But if you're one of the close women in my life, you know about it, okay? Hence, what my daughters know and what my besties know. Everybody knows about it around here, what his fetish is. Because guess what? I'm standing there and I'm appalled at what he's saying to me. And he tells me all this different stuff. And I'm telling him no, and I'm setting boundaries, and he's not listening, and he's not taking it. Meanwhile, he's messaging my oldest daughter, and he's telling her that he's concerned, and he's this and he's that. Now, I share with her what's going on, and she's like, what? What? Long story short, he has had to deal with her now a couple times. I blocked him on everything because he became very belligerent and not very cool about the situation. He's lucky I didn't take it to his pretty much wife, everything that he brought to me, because I could wreck his relationship on it, right? That's not my style. Don't do that. I just blocked him, said, this is not cool. I'm not going there. Back off. And, all that good stuff. And I just blocked him. Now, he's had to deal with my daughter a couple times showing up at her bar and everything, dealing with that. He's had to deal with all of that guilt, all of that embarrassment, all of that stuff, because he didn't realize that we communicated like that. He didn't think that a mother and a daughter would share something like that, that communication would come out. But when he turned around and then he approached her, trying to get a roundabout way back to me, what he discovered was that we had communicated. He was being an idiot there, right? He's being a complete idiot. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about this. The moral of this tale is that this story happens repeatedly over so many different things. You gentlemen tend to do this frequently. I hear stories about it from my clients. I've witnessed it my entire, through like I said, like 4th, 5th grade this started. Moving forward through high school years, into young adult years, and now here at 43, I'm still seeing it happen with men that are in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and older. Guys, if you were into a woman, be into her. That's totally fine. Approach her, court her, ask, inquire. If you're into her friend too, have a difficult conversation. Say, hey, I'm into both of you. Which one of you is into me? Do not at all costs, because you lose total respect. You lose complete and total trust from both of them, respect from both of them, and you just plainly show up as a total moron and jackass in this moment, thinking with the small head, not the big head in this moment. What you do in this moment when you go, oh no, I'm just going to assume that they did not communicate, Not true. I can tell you what, there's women that jump on my live stream that I know pretty well, good friends, my daughters, clients, different stuff like that. And if one of them came to me and said, hey, Joe Blow over here just messaged me, we were talking, da-da-da-da-da. And I've actually had this happen where somebody has messaged somebody, and then it just comes out in just idle conversation. It just comes up, and we're like, what? And I'm like, huh? Oh, that's that dude. Here's what he said to me, da-da-da-da-da. Or vice versa. I might say, hey, this guy messaged me, this happened. And they're like, what? No, this guy messaged me too. One of my exes, I'll just say one of my exes, just to keep it clean here. Keep names at bay. One of my exes just recently did this exact same thing. It's kind of hilarious. And he's been chasing a woman for a couple months. And he was telling her all these stories about me. And he was trying to paint this picture about me. And short story short, she moves in as a roommate with my second oldest daughter. She moves in as a roommate. And over a girls' night, glass of wine, they're talking about stuff. And the woman says, oh yeah, this guy is messaging me on Facebook, and he's going through all this stuff with his ex, and is this happening and that's happening, and they're having this like heartfelt female intimacy share, not realizing that they're talking about my daughter's, all right, it's just going to come out, my daughter's stepdad, okay? So not realizing that. And then all of a sudden, as they're communicating, talking, it comes out that it is her stepdad that's talking to her friend about me. And so guess what happens? The friend shows all the text messages, the whole communication thread to my daughter. Well, within like 30 minutes, I had all of it back at me. And they're going, hey, this is what is being said, okay? Again, the point is, realize that women talk. And when women are connected, it comes out. Because we are talkers, because we are venters, because we are sharers, we consistently share with other women. And if they are in our circles in any fashion or form, and if you are fucking around in any way and you're not being a man of integrity, then realize that that's going to come out, and it will spread like wildfire through the female community, and they will know who you are, and you will not have the respect. Okay, you will not have the respect with the feminine. This is not just women gossiping. This is where in today's world, we all track stuff. We have our text messages. We have our email threads. We have our Facebook threads. We have our whatever social media you are doing, okay? And everybody's like snapping it and taking pictures to have evidence of like, no, this is what the communication was. No, this is what the communication was. That kind of stuff gets shared. It's not just a telephone game these days. There's actual written documentation on this stuff. So I'm telling you guys, if you want to have respect with a woman, which if you want to actually bet a woman, want to be in a relationship with a woman, then you better want to have her respect. You better understand that she needs to trust you. And that means you better be a man of integrity. That means that you better be right. And if you are not, what right means is to be right with self, to be speaking your truth. And when you fuck up, you admit it. That is what respect and truth and trust come when we can actually admit to where we have failed, to where we have fallen down, to where our egos got a hold of us. Just because if you think that you, by not admitting that stuff, oh no, I didn't mess up, and you tell a story to make it look okay, when you get busted on that story, you do more damage than just coming forth on the front side and saying, hey, this happened. I messed up here. And I can tell you that when you are trying to court, chase, date, appeal to the women out there in the world, and when you are working with a group of women and they know each other, that this is vitally important. If you don't want to be a man of integrity, if you don't want to be a man that is looking for an authentic relationship or a real woman, and you're into all that drama and you're just trying to fuck around, okay? If that's you, then here's the recommendation. Make sure that you go after women in completely different circles, perhaps different towns. Make sure that they share no mutual friends on social media. Make sure that they have no way of being in contact with each other. And just do that. Like, maybe pick women on opposite continents, and you might not be safe in today's world because we have friends all over the world thanks to these beautiful things like Facebook, right? So my recommendation is that you make sure that there's no way that they can actually interconnect, because us women do. We do, and we got each other's backs like no other. So I'm telling you guys, be a man of integrity so that the women out there can respect you, so that they can trust you, and so that you can actually be a truly confident man, not a man in his ego and cocky who is lying through his teeth, but instead be a man that is confident in himself because he is authentic in integrity and knows how to speak his truth and stand in his own fire. Okay? All right, I see some comments. Hold on. Addison, men's stories always make it back to the source. Yes, they do. April, oh my God, so crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. And it's just, I wasn't going to do a conscious coffee on this because it doesn't really go along with much of anything that I have going right now other than Winter Wonderlust, which is all on female sexuality. So I guess it still kind of does go along. I'm keeping it on the feminine. But it's just been one of those weeks of hearing stories and being triggered in this fashion. And it's like, you know what, if I'm getting triggered by this, if I'm seeing it come up, it's probably a hot season for this stuff because the holidays, and what happens in the holidays? Nobody wants to be alone during the holidays, right? Like, nobody wants to be alone. So what do? We hook up with people just for the holidays. That's what we do. We go out there and we're like, I just don't want to spend Thanksgiving alone. I just don't want to spend Christmas alone. I don't want to go into New Year alone. Like, I'm going to be around all these people and they're going to be kissing and they're going to be hugging and there's going to be romance and cheers with champagne and I got nobody to cheers and I got nobody to kiss and da-da-da-da-da. So we hook up with somebody really quick just for that moment. And how do we go about hooking up with somebody really quick? Well, often it's the guy going after a hungry woman and he's willing to tell her just about anything so that he's got it going on for the next 45 to 60 days with no true intent of having a serious relationship. And ladies, we're guilty of this too. We flaunt ourselves. We're easier to hook up with during the holidays because we want to be cared for, because we want to feel important, because we want to feel beautiful, because we want the pretty blingy gifts and a trip or something like that. So we're more likely to be a yes to things that we're not normally a yes to. And I'm going to just tell you that it's time to kind of just really get authentic, because as we move into the next decade, which is what 2020 is, not just a new year, but it's a new decade that we're moving into. As we're moving into this new decade, you got to ask yourself, why do I do relationship? Like, why do I really want a relationship? Why do I do relationship? What am I bringing to the table in the relationship? What am I needing in a relationship? Like, more than I want this cup size on a woman and this hair color and this eye color and this height and this size butt and all this stuff that doesn't matter, that can change in time and will. What do you really truly want in a partner? That's the question that you need to be asking. And why do you do the relationship? We all have different reasons as to why we do relationships. And at the base level of this is where you're going to find your authentic truth around relationships. Are you just trying to fill a void inside yourself? Or are you really trying to be expanded and grown and to have good, deep intimacy and connection? Is it something that is like the cherry on top of your sundae because your life is already so amazing and so fulfilled? Or are you looking for a relationship to fill something that you're not knowing how to get out of life and yourself? So you're going, hey, maybe that person can do it for me. Maybe that person can make me happy. Maybe that person is more like that. Hey, Michael, happy belated birthday. I know I already said happy birthday to you, but happy birthday, Mike. Yeah, so why do you do relationship? That would be my question to you, is to really bring that about for you this holiday weekend. And look at that. For all of you local people, make sure that you check out the link in the comment section that's come up there for my Winter Wonderlust Orgasm Camp. This is the last workshop of the season of the year. This particular workshop won't come out until next December 2020. There will be a similar workshop in August of 2020, but that's how long you're going to have to wait. So local peeps, make sure that you click on that. Get registered. We're over halfway full on this workshop. It is filling up. And we've only got a week to go. So don't hesitate. Don't wait till the last minute. There's not going to be at the door on this. We're always full on this workshop. And for all you other people out there all over the world, I know Nikki Lundberg out in Vegas. Mike, you're going to like this. Nikki Lundberg out in Vegas, her and I are working on some different projects and different ideas. So I'm going to probably be making my way. Addison will be coming along too. So two of us will be out in Vegas in 2020. If you are in the Vegas area, start looking for different ideas to be popping on that event with Nikki out there, who's a beautiful sex and relationship expert educator in the Vegas area. I'm also looking for people in the Florida area and in the Southern California area, or Portland, Seattle, somewhere up there. I was in Seattle for like 9 years. Love the Portland, Seattle area. So I definitely, if anybody is up in that direction, would like to pull together support and create some amazing educational workshops on sex and relationship, reach out to me. Same goes for you Florida people. I know that I have a ton of people that follow me in Florida. I must be very Florida style, but if there's any sex educators, coaches, tantra practitioners, anything of that nature out in Florida, reach out to me. I'm really making a plug for this right now so that I can plan out my 2020 a little bit better. I've got amazing workshops locally. I want to bring some workshops out there to the rest of the United States, to some of these hubs, to all of my beautiful fans and followers out there. So help me if you know somebody, if you know space, if you want to hook up and connect on how we can really bring something to the table for you guys. Make sure to reach out to me here, either in the comments, private message, text, or email, whatever kind of contact you have for me. Make sure that you do that. And of course, if I've said anything that has made you go, woohoo, my puppy is attacking me now. Hi, Nina. Yes, good morning. Good morning. If I've said anything that has brought anything to the forefront of your mind, made you think of a gentleman that needs to hear this, or you just think that this should be promoted, hit the share button for me. Make sure that you get this Conscious Coffee shared. If you're catching this on the replay, make sure that you let me know in the comments that you're catching it on the replay. Love to see your comments, your likes, your loves, and of course your shares, helping promote me in that fashion. And, of course, reach out to me for one-on-one coaching, because I have an unannounced coaching special. And I guess I just sort of announced it, didn't I? But you got to actually contact me to reach out to me about that, okay? So, and I will get you the deets on the unannounced coaching special. All right, guys, I love you, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. As always, stop existing, start living, and don't be so damn fucking average and ordinary in your dating game. Okay, love you guys. Catch you tomorrow.